Does it feel like your hands have a mind of their own? Like there are tiny earthquakes running through your fingers every time you reach for a glass, try to sign your name, or pour your morning tea? If your hands have started shaking in ways that make the simplest tasks feel unreliable, you are not alone. And more importantly, there is one exercise sequence that can stop this completely. Here is the scary part. Shaky hands do not stay at the level of inconvenience. They creep. The tremor that starts with a teacup becomes the tremor that stops you from cooking, from writing, from feeling confident in your own body. And the longer it goes unaddressed, the more the nervous system accepts the shaking as its new normal. But there is hope, because the nervous system is not finished. It can be retrained. And today's 7 exercises do exactly that. Welcome back. Today we are walking through a complete 7-movement hand reset sequence. This is not a grip strength workout. This is a neurological conversation. And by the end of this episode, your hands will have heard something they have been waiting a long time to hear. Now, before we go further, I'm begging you to let us know you are here. Comment where you are watching from. Just one comment helps this video reach other seniors who need it, and I always try to respond to all of you. Thank you. Now, before we begin the movements, I want everyone to understand something fundamental. Most seniors I speak to believe their shaky hands are simply a sign of aging. They think a muscle has worn out or a joint has degraded. Is that what is actually happening? No. And that misunderstanding is exactly why so many people never find relief. Hand tremors are not muscle failure. They are a communication failure. Think about what has to happen every time your hand picks up a glass. Your brain sends a signal down through the spinal cord, through the nerves of the arm, all the way to the fingertips. Those fingertips then send information back up, telling the brain exactly where the hand is, how much tension it is holding, how much pressure is needed. That back and forth happens hundreds of times per second. So, what goes wrong? Over time, the sensors that run this feedback loop, we call them proprioceptors, become underused. When hands are not challenged with varied, deliberate movement, those sensors go quiet. The signal between the hand and the brain becomes fuzzy. And a fuzzy signal produces exactly what you see: trembling, instability, a grip that no longer feels trustworthy. The brain is not getting clear information, so it cannot send clear instructions back. So the hands are shaking because the brain has lost its map of where the hands are. Precisely. And this is why strength training alone does not fix tremors. You can strengthen a muscle and still have a shaky hand if the signal running through it is disrupted. What we need is to restore signal clarity. That is what today's 7 movements are designed to do, progressively, layer by layer, from the skin all the way up to the brain itself. All right, let us begin. What is the very first movement? We start at the wrist, because the wrist is where the most important nerve pathways for hand control are concentrated. The radial nerve and the median nerve both pass through here, and they are packed with proprioceptors, those tiny messengers we just discussed. When we stimulate them with direct, deliberate pressure, we wake them up. We remind the brain that the hand is there and that it is asking to be heard. What does the movement look like? Take your left thumb and place it on your right wrist. Now move it side to side. A slow, firm, sliding motion across the width of the wrist, not rubbing the skin carelessly, but pressing in with intention and gliding left, then right. You're going to do this 5 times on the right wrist and then switch. Right thumb on the left wrist, 5 times. Watch the screen to see the exact placement. That sensation, something almost electric about the contact when you press with real intention, that is the nerve pathway waking up. A Stanford study found that just 30 seconds of focused wrist input produced measurable improvements in hand steadiness within 2 weeks. That is how responsive these pathways are. They have not disappeared. They have simply been waiting for a signal. And now, straight into the second movement. Yes, we stay at the wrist, but we change the quality of the stimulus. Now we introduce warmth. Take your left thumb and place it on your right wrist again, but this time move it in a large clockwise circle. Slow, deliberate rotations. Make the circle as wide as the wrist allows. 5 rotations clockwise on the right wrist. Then switch. Right thumb on the left wrist. 5 rotations clockwise. Why does the circular motion matter after the side-to-side strokes? Because we are now adding heat through friction, and warmth does something that pressure alone cannot. In traditional Eastern medicine, we say warmth carries awareness. Physiologically, the friction draws blood to the surface, raises the local temperature, and relaxes the microspasms in the small muscles of the forearm that often contribute to tremor. Research from Osaka University showed that gentle self-massage like this improved nerve response in older adults within minutes. The nerves begin to fire more cleanly. The signal sharpens. So, exercise 1 wakes the nerve up, and exercise 2 warms the pathway so signals can travel more freely. That is exactly the sequence. And now that the pathway is open and warm, we are ready to introduce the third layer, resistance. I bet this one looks different from the first 2, right? Yes. We move away from the wrist entirely and bring both hands together. Bring your palms to face each other, fingertips aligned, elbows slightly lifted, like a prayer position, but with intention rather than rest. From here, interlock your fingers and make this movement like you are trying to open and close your hands, but you keep your fingers interlocked. Do that 5 times slowly, feeling the muscles in the fingers and palm engage with each movement. And then there is a second part to this exercise. Yes. After the 5 open and close repetitions, bring the palms together again. And this time, push them against each other firmly, and then actually release. Push in and release 5 times. And finally, on the last press, push in as hard as you comfortably can, and hold it for 5 full seconds. Feel the resistance building. Then let go completely. That contrast between maximum effort and complete release, what is that doing for the nervous system? It is teaching the hands the difference between tight and loose. This sounds simple, but it is one of the most important things a trembling hand needs to relearn. When grip strength declines and tremors develop, the muscles often lose the ability to modulate, to find the middle ground between clenching and letting go. The isometric hold at the end of this exercise forces the nervous system to produce a precise, sustained contraction. Then the release teaches it to truly stand down. That contrast is where control lives. I can feel my hands almost humming after that hold and release. There is a clarity to the sensation that was not there before. That is the proprioceptors recalibrating. They just received a very clear message. And notice that we have not used a single piece of equipment. No resistance bands, no stress balls, no therapy putty. Just the hands talking to each other. That is enough. Now we are ready for something that surprises most people. That contrast between effort and release. I think a lot of seniors actually need to hear that letting go is part of the exercise. We are conditioned to think harder is better, and that conditioning is part of what makes tremors worse. When people sense their hands shaking, the instinct is to grip tighter, to fight the movement. But gripping tighter increases tension in the very muscles that are already misfiring. You end up amplifying the problem. What this exercise teaches, and what the next 3 movements continue to build on, is that control comes from precision, not force. The nervous system responds to clear signals, not loud ones. Please, everyone, stay with us, because the next 2 exercises are where this routine becomes truly unlike anything most seniors have ever tried for their hands. Okay, the 4th movement is one that feels completely counterintuitive. Most people spend all their energy trying to stop the shake. They grip harder, tense more, hold their breath, and the tremor gets worse. What we do here is the opposite. We shake on purpose. Yes. Let your hands hang loosely at your sides. Now flick them forward and backward like you are trying to shake water off your fingertips. Relaxed, rhythmic, continuous. Forward and back. Forward and back. Do this for a count of 5 forward and back cycles, and then hold both arms straight out in front of you for 5 full seconds. Why does intentional shaking help an involuntary tremor? Because the cerebellum, the part of the brain responsible for coordination and timing, responds to rhythm. When you shake your hands with deliberate, relaxed rhythm, you are feeding the cerebellum a clean, organized signal. It begins to use that rhythm as a reference point and calms the chaotic, overactive nerve firing that produces the tremor. Research from the University of Michigan found that rhythmic movement, even without any weight or resistance, can reduce tremor amplitude by restoring timing to the affected muscle groups. You are not fighting the tremor. You are giving the brain something better to listen to. And now we move on to a place that will surprise most people. That makes me very curious. What are we doing now? We are going to the forehead. Place your palm flat against your forehead and massage firmly up and down. Long vertical strokes, not circles. Generate real friction and heat. Do 5 strokes and then hold the palm still against the forehead for 5 seconds. Forehead massage to calm shaky hands? Help me understand that connection for anyone watching who is skeptical right now. The skepticism is completely fair because on the surface it makes no sense. But the connection is neurological. Running through the face is the trigeminal nerve, one of the largest cranial nerves in the body. It connects directly to the brainstem, and through the brainstem it communicates with the vagus nerve, which governs the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is the master control for involuntary tension throughout the entire body, including the hands. So when we massage the forehead, we are sending a calming signal through this chain all the way down to the hands. Exactly. By generating warmth through friction on the forehead, you activate the trigeminal nerve and send what the body interprets as a safety signal through that entire cranial loop. The autonomic nervous system receives the message that the threat has passed. Tension releases, and the hands, which were vibrating with that tension, begin to settle. In clinics in Kyoto, this technique has been used with seniors whose tremors were triggered primarily by stress and anxiety, and within minutes of the forehead massage, the hands visibly calmed. I just tried this, and I was not prepared for how immediate it feels. Something releases through the jaw and the shoulders at the same time, because they are all part of the same loop. The jaw, the shoulders, the hands, all governed by the same tension network. Touch the forehead with intention, and the whole system listens. Amazing. Let's keep the pace for the 6th exercise. This one involves the whole arm, right? Yes. And this is the movement I consider the most neurologically powerful of the entire sequence. So, everyone please watch the screen carefully. Place your right hand on your left shoulder. Let it rest there firmly. Now extend your left arm straight out in front of you, parallel to the floor. From this position, shake the extended left arm left and right from the wrist, not the shoulder. A rapid, controlled, side-to-side shake. Do 5 counts of shaking. Then hold the arm straight and still for 5 seconds. Then drop both arms. Switch sides. Left hand on right shoulder, right arm extended, and repeat. 5 shakes, 5-second hold. What is crossing the midline of the body doing for the brain? Everything. The left hemisphere of the brain controls the right side of the body, and the right hemisphere controls the left. When you place one hand on the opposite shoulder and shake the other arm, you are forcing both hemispheres to activate simultaneously and coordinate with each other. We call this bilateral coordination, and it is one of the first things to weaken with age or neurological disruption. Clinical trials in Nagoya showed measurable improvement in hand dexterity after just 2 weeks of cross-body movement training in seniors. Even patients with essential tremor saw significant gains in steadiness. So this movement is literally rebuilding the bridge between both sides of the brain. Yes, and when both hemispheres are communicating cleanly, the hands move with a steadiness that no amount of grip training can produce on its own. The stability comes from above, not from the muscle. Amazing. Let's look at the final movement. I assume this one brings everything together, right? Yes, it does. We end where we began, with the shaking, but this time both hands together. Let both arms hang at your sides and shake both hands simultaneously left and right. Do 5 counts. Then raise both arms straight out in front of you and hold them completely still for 5 full seconds. Lower them. Then repeat the whole thing one more time. 5 counts of shaking, 5-second hold, and then drop the hands into your lap and relax completely. And why end with shaking again rather than a hold or a stretch? Because the body needs to discharge before it can consolidate. The shaking clears any residual tension from the muscles. The hold that follows gives the nervous system a moment of stillness in which to register everything it has just experienced. In Eastern therapy, we teach that the body does not finish integrating until it knows it is done. That final hold is the signal. It says, "The work is complete. Now settle." I can feel the difference between how my hands felt at the start of this and how they feel right now. They are warmer, calmer, and there is a steadiness that was not there 5 minutes ago. And that is after 1 round. Imagine what 2 rounds a day done consistently builds over 2 to 3 weeks. How often should someone do this, and what results can people expect? Twice a day, morning and evening. Some people feel a difference within days, a steadier grip, cleaner handwriting, less effort pouring a cup. For others, it takes 2 to 3 weeks. But here is what matters. The nervous system does not close its doors with age. It simply waits for the right signal. These 7 movements are that signal. That is the most hopeful thing I have heard about this topic. So many seniors have been told tremors are just part of aging and nothing can be done. That belief is one of the most damaging things we tell older adults. I have watched hands grow still in people in their 80s and 90s. The hands remember steadiness. They just need someone to remind them. Thank you, everyone. Do this twice today and come back to tell us in the comments what you notice. If this helped, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this. And make sure to watch this next episode. This is a good one. See you there.